Yeah. How big's this game? It's another Friday against last week was a pretty good warm-up for this fixture.
Yeah, look, every game's a big game, but this one no doubt has a bit of special meaning to it. You know, it's a Friday night game, second v third, Collingwood, hopefully 85,000, 90,000 at the game, and two teams that are hopefully going to be playing some pretty big games moving forward. So this is a great challenge for us. They're in enormous form, won 10 in a row, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
What do you think's made them so dangerous, and what are they doing right at the moment to be playing so well and be on that long winning streak?
Oh, they work incredibly hard as a team, both offensively and defensively. They transition the ball very well from their back half. They use the corridor to a really high level, and their forwards are really dynamic ahead of the footy. So they've got a lot of weapons that they use, and they certainly set up their transition game incredibly well. So we're aware of what their strengths are. We know what our strengths are, and it's going to be a battle to see who can bring their game for the longest.
They managed to beat you not too long ago. Was it 6 or 7 weeks ago? Is that game relevant? Do you look back at that much?
Yeah, look, it was in a patch of footy where we lost 3 games in a row, and we certainly learned a lot about our method through that period. We've made some adjustments in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and last week, was the first test about how that looked, and we get another chance to do it against a side that was able to beat us, in that patch of footy. So we have learned a lot. We have changed a bit in the way we play, and we're looking forward to putting it on display tomorrow night.
Ben Brown, right to go?
He's right to go. So he'll come back into the team. He had his a week or so where he just really got that knee to settle. He's got a good training block into him last week, and he's trained well this week. So yeah, he'll come back into the team.
How important is he for you guys going forward and into September?
I think if you look at what he's been able to do throughout his career, he's an important player for us, and you saw what he was able to do at the back end of last year. And I thought his form was really trending, before he went out of the team with his knee. So he gives us a real focal point. He's a really smart player. He's a goal kicker, and he maximises his opportunities. So he's an important player for us to get back into our team and get him in some really good form.
What about Jackson and Salem? They both cop knocks. Are they all right?
Yeah, they're all right to go. So we're pretty much full strength in terms of the way that we want to play and get our cohesion together. So yeah, everyone's right to go.
I think Harms is the other one. He had concussion as well. Is he all right?
Yeah, look, he got through all his concussion protocols. He's trained fully. He's ready to go, and he's excited about getting back into playing some footy. So it's very hard to keep James Harms down for too long, but he's ready to go.
And have you had a chat with Sam Wiedemann about his game? 1 goal, 1 mark, 1 possession, and is that a direct swap for Ben Brown?
I'm not going to give out team selection just yet, but Sam obviously last week wasn't the game that he was looking for, but it's more than possessions and just marks and goals. He competed incredibly strongly for us. He's got a process in place about how he takes his game to the next level. He's working incredibly hard with Greg Stafford, who's our forward coach and looks after our tools, and he's really clear on what his expectation is within the team, and he's going to keep working towards that.
Simon, just on Ben Brown, what does his next month look like in terms of training and workload compared to maybe, say, the month before his injury or before he missed footy? Do you lighten that? Do you give him certain days off? How does that look going forward?
Oh, look, he'll pretty much be back into our program, and doing everything. There'll be little sessions here and there, depending on the type of weeks that we have, where we'll lighten a little bit of load from him. But he said he's felt this is the best he's felt for probably 12 to 14 weeks. So it was a great opportunity to give him some rest, get him some treatment on that knee, and then just to reload it a bit in the right way, in a safe way. And he's feeling 100%. He trained incredibly well the other day.
Simon, it's well known how Collingwood has sort of got themselves in and out of situations in close contests over a number of weeks now. Is that something you've actually worked on or talked about this week, that if you do get into a close situation, how they go about that and how you can pick them apart?
Yeah, look, it's something that we've spoken about as a group over a period of time, about not only close games, but when you've got a team on the ropes, and we've had that a few times this year, 7 times throughout the year, where we've been winning by 24 points and let teams come back into the contest. We spent some time on it last week about being a more ruthless and urgent footy team more often, and hopefully we're not in that situation where we let teams back into games. But there's no doubt when the game gets tight, Collingwood are very good. It's something that we've spent a lot of time on ourselves working around how we execute under pressure and how we execute in those close moments. And we feel really comfortable if the game gets into that position that will hold up well.
What specifically do the Magpies do well in those situations?
Oh, look, they're very calm. They understand the situation, depending on whether they need to score or whether they need to hold on to the game. And they've got a will to win. They certainly fight and scrap and do everything well within their methods. So there's never one thing that you do. You've got to execute all your things in your game well at that time of the game, whether you're up or down. They've been able to do that for a large part of the year, and obviously the last 6 or 7 weeks especially, they've been in that situation a lot. And when you're in that situation a lot, you get a lot of practice at it as well. So they're executing it very well.
With James Harms coming back, does Angus Brayshaw move back to halfback or the wing? And second part of that question is, after he sort of spoke about his clarity of wanting to roll, going forward into the midfield, is that something you were happy to give him last week, just a week after he sort of spoke about wanting to be probably more of a midfielder going forward?
Just to clear up with Angus is prepared to do whatever the team needs him to do. He's a leader of our footy club and he'll play whatever position he sees fit for our footy team, and he will execute it very well. And that's what we love about Angus, is he's a very selfless player. And obviously with Harmsy coming back, that gives us an opportunity to play Angus in any type of position that we feel fit. And as I said, I'm not going to give too much away today, but Angus is certainly someone that we see that can execute in a range of positions, and we'll position him accordingly.
Just the Eddie Betts, the news over the last 24 hours. As a former Crows player, how have you sort of absorbed all of that?
Yeah, obviously you only can absorb what you can from afar, but obviously the key thing here is Eddie's an unbelievable person. He's a great player for the Adelaide Footy Club and for Carlton, and obviously he's had a traumatic experience, and that's not something that we like to see. And I was rapt to see the Adelaide Crows come out yesterday and say sorry, and hopefully Eddie and everyone can learn and grow and move forward, and Eddie can also heal as well. So I think it's we've got to use this for what it is and continue to grow our industry and grow our society, and hopefully we don't see it happen again.
Just one more on this one. You spoke about the Crows saying sorry. Do you think the AFL should come out and follow suit? Eddie said he'd like to see that last night when speaking on Fox.
I think if Eddie feels that that's the case, then sure, that's certainly something that should happen. it's this experience that sits with him, and he needs to heal. And I think part of that process is everyone making sure they learn and grow and say sorry. And I hope they do.
Thanks, Goody.
Thanks, guys.